Hello, and welcome to another new CJM. I'm your host, Chris, and I'm joined here with Jeff and Mike.
Salutations.
Hello, buddy.
And today we are talking Spider-Man: The New Animated Series, aka MTV Spider-Man, by Mainframe Entertainment. And yeah, so let's swing. And
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, so MTV Spider-Man. What an anomaly that MTV had a Spider-Man cartoon back in 2003.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So
Yeah, it was strange.
yeah, like you would never think that MTV of all places would have a Spider-Man cartoon. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
you wouldn't think.
yeah, so this cartoon had like when they were making it, originally this was supposed to be based on the Ultimate Universe comics because at the time that was the popular Spider-Man comic. That was selling like hotcakes more than the main universe stuff because it was like a fresh start. It's a younger Peter Parker and all that, and Brian Michael Bendis was attached as producer, and like his credits are even still in the show. So
Mhm.
yeah, and it wasn't until the Sam Raimi movie that came out in 2002 that actually changed the plans of the show from being an adaptation of the Ultimate Comics to just being set being as a spin-off of the movies.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's why they have similar styles. And if you played the Ultimate Spider-Man game, yeah, there's similarities of the you know like the cell shading and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this show ran for like 13 episodes because of course it did, and it got canceled
Yeah.
after just one season.
Well, given the fact that a Spider-Man MTV show came on Fridays after at the dead times of like 9 or 10, and no one knew about it because people were out and about. This show was kind of like a cult favorite amongst them who even knew about it, more or less. I guess.
Yeah, I think this came
I
out
mean, it did decently.
yeah, like it did decent. Like it either came out like either before or after, like it like aired before or after the Osborns. I forget because
Probably after, because Osborne's was like around 9 o'clock, like
yeah,
for like all the edgy shit.
Yeah.
yeah, that was like one of the big shows on MTV. And I used to watch the Osborns like back to back with this. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and like I'm my brain is racing now right now. Fuck, I need to slow down for a bit. So yeah, throughout the weeks I showed everybody. I showed your current host. I showed Ben. I showed Rocky like the show, and
Hmm.
pretty much
Yeah.
everybody enjoyed it. From all things considered, any other thoughts from it? Like
Well, given the fact that it took place in 2003 and this was him in college, the show was it had like unique portions to the story, even though there was I guess there was somehow a overarching arc, more or less, but it felt like it was like only like episode specific. Like there was never like a to be continued, I guess.
until
Like,
the two
Yeah.
part season finale.
yeah, which was kind of odd, but then again, well, and we'll get there, I guess, as you explain everything and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Some,
So, oh, sorry.
oh, go on. Oh, you want to go?
Yeah, you go.
Okay. The okay, the show's layabout was fun, more or less, for the time, and seeing it again really reminded me of like a PS2 game, more or less.
Yeah,
I
And
mean, yeah. Uh,
that's
it
yeah.
was,
yeah. That's why I mentioned the Ultimate Spider-Man game because of how similar in style they were.
though,
Yeah.
it could be it's kind of choppy at points because it's like hair that doesn't move much, or the fact that they never that gave the characters like any other changing attire, and it's like they're still in the same clothes in every single scenario or episode. It's like, okay, I guess it doesn't get cold and the weather's always the same or whatever, and you're just wearing a short. And Mary Jane, you're just still wearing a crop top and some hot pants or whatever. Come on, all right.
Yeah, I guess like
Yeah.
the assets expensive to change.
Yeah, I guess like
But
having to redesign the characters like for each episode would have taken some time.
yeah,
That
they
was
probably
a
didn't have
choice,
the
I'll
budget.
say, but okay.
Probably
Just like
didn't have the
yeah,
budget.
like not a lot of cartoons like change the clothes of the characters. There was like, okay, they're gonna wear the same thing every episode because we're too lazy to come up with other clothing choices.
Yeah,
I
like
mean, yeah, like Rugrats,
Scooby-Doo.
Doug, all that stuff.
Yeah, like Scooby Doo. Just the
Yeah,
third Scooby Doo. There
Yeah.
you go.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised that that's even a complaint in general.
It's not a really complaint. It's just it's like hindsight 2020. Even though I know this, like with every other cartoons I've ever watched in my life, that some they just don't decide to change the clothes unless it's like a very special occasion. I get it. It's just like I don't know. It's like
funny.
2003. It's like okay,
It's funny that way. That's
it's
why.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I already mentioned that this was originally going to be an adaptation of the Ultimate Universe, but also and Mainframe Entertainment, known for shows such as Reboot and Transformers Beast Wars,
Yes.
and if I were to compare like this show to the previous work, I gotta say this looks better. Although like their previous shows are
Yeah.
like the big like milestones in animation, like with the CG work for both Reboot and Beast Wars. I'm saying this looks better because like when you look back on Beast Wars and Reboot, it looks kind of
You,
like
you can tell it's dated.
it was dated the moment it came out, but like although this like in some aspects the show ages better because of its like cel shaded style, so it looks
Hmm.
like it could be 2D but it's still 3D.
Yeah, because they originally were gonna do it in 3D, but then they thought, oh, maybe we do it this way. Might be better.
Yeah, just to like make it more comic booky.
Yeah, and it worked.
Yeah, yeah, it really helps the show stand out. And this was like the first,
Yeah.
and this was like the first CG show that like full on CG show that Spider-Man had, and I think like
Yeah.
with this style reminiscent of like what they would do in Spider-Verse.
Yes.
Though that's the case, I mean, we can say that the CG in this show is unique and good. I mean, it does seem like I'm just gonna bring up this little side rant that the fact that there are some anime nowadays that do CG and it just looks obnoxious. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
my, my
Yeah.
yeah, my thing about like CG anime nowadays is just always the frame rate is just really off. Like
Yeah.
it just feels off to me. Like
Mhm.
I like it's always the frame rate or like something else that I can't even put my finger on. But with this, like the animation is smooth, but I don't know if
Yeah.
I don't know if like you guys could see how smooth it was because I don't know about like the Discord streaming thing with like when I because I streamed it with the files and not through like what streaming service because so far this show is not on any streaming service to my knowledge.
well, it
Yeah.
is. I know it's small. I mean, there's a lot of shows that have not
Like
like ever streaming services.
yeah
Like,
because this
you have to find them on the Internet Archive.
yeah because this show was actually produced by Sony and like well
Yes.
yeah because like at the time Sony owned practically a lot of things Spider-Man like for animation and the film rights and all that and the video game rights went to Activision. Well, they had the game rights for a long time
Yeah.
and yeah they own this and Spectacular and Spectacular is currently on Netflix in the US now. I think it's still I don't know I haven't
Yes.
because like here in Germany it's been on Netflix so yeah But this is not on any service. I pretty much ripped the files from 3 of the DVDs I own. The rest I had to find in totally legit places that I had to find them.
So legit ways.
Yeah, totally
Yeah.
legit. Even with the iconic episodes of with the stuff with Electro, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So also one of the big things is like a lot of celebrities were on this show.
That is true.
Even a few,
Mm-hmm.
even
I
a,
recognized one of them right away.
yeah, even a few of them like being part of the main cast, like Neil Patrick Harris as Peter Parker and Spider-Man,
Yes.
which
He was good.
yeah, he was really good, to the point where he would actually return for Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions as like the main Amazing Spider-Man.
Sweet.
That game was very. It's not like. I think I have that game, or I tried to play it. I'm okay. I never played the game. I think I really don't remember. But Shadow Dimensions was good, right? It was different from Web of Shadows.
Yeah, it was different.
believe
Like
so.
where Web of Shadows was open world with the symbiotes, while Shattered Dimensions was a little more linear because you like each level was like a different Spider-Man.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Where you go from Amazing to the Ultimate Universe with the symbiotes, and then 2099, and then like Spider-Man Noir.
Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, and it was fun playing as each of the Spider-Men. And one fun fact that was like a runner-up for the voice role of Spider-Man. Guess what? Oh,
Hmm.
okay. I'll give you a guess who was a runner-up. He still had like a big show at the time that ran for 11 seasons, and he was on a big superhero cartoon at the time as well. Can you guess who it is?
Uh, 11 seasons.
Okay,
Wait,
Is it
wait. Is that
Big
the dude from Smallville?
Michael Rosenbaum. He was a runner.
Okay.
He was a runner-up for Spider-Man, from what I found out, and
uh,
and I'm like, I can see that because if you watch Justice League, like the way he plays the Flash, that is Spider-Man.
yes.
Oh, Barry. Oh, Wally West.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Wally West being like this, like his sillier parts. Yeah, that would be like Spider-Man. So I think
Yeah.
that would have been cool, but NPH as Spider-Man is awesome, and we got Lisa Loeb as Mary Jane.
And if you don't know
Mhm.
who Lisa Loeb is, she was a singer back in the 90s. She does like a lot of folksy songs, and she was pretty prominent in the 90s. 2000s was kind of a slow thing. But I mean, I only watched it honestly for Lisa Loeb. But, oh, she plays MJ. She does a good job. I'll give her a chance. Oh.
And
Yeah,
uh,
she's good.
and we got Ian Ziering as Harry Osborn. Probably a lot of people back in the '90s, he was in Beverly Hills 90210,
Yes.
but a lot of people nowadays would know him as that one guy with the chainsaw in Sharknado.
Yes. Uh,
Da-na-na-na,
uh,
na-na-na.
yeah. Yeah. Like today, you know it, but back in the 90s, it was like that. He was big in that.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of them were, but we won't go into it because it's like, It was like,
I
yeah.
mean that song was iconic. So I'll give you that.
So yeah, this was before Neil Patrick Harris's uh, career revival with Harold and Kumar. So
mm,
yeah,
Those movies.
yeah. Another notable thing about this show, a lot of the villains are actually OCs. They're like
yeah.
a lot of them are
Yeah.
just not from the comics. Comics like we got Turbo Jet, who's just Rocket Racer, and we got Talon, who's just Black Cat,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and Pterodax and all that. But we do have comic villains in the show as well, but not a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
But when they do appear at the show, it is a big deal.
Yes.
And so
Like King and
yeah, like Kingpin, who well, let's get to the episodes when we get to them. But
yeah.
yeah, so when we watched the show, we watched it in the recommended chronological order, not the order that it was in that
Yeah,
aired.
not an air date order.
Yeah, not in the air date order because they were like out of order.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were.
I'd be like, what?
Yeah, because from what I read, like they had to like work on episodes and a lot of them were like delayed, so they had to like use the episodes that were finished. So the episode 8, like what would be like in chronological order, episode 8, the party, is actually the first episode that aired, and that's the first appearance of Electro, which okay, I understand why it's the first episode that you introduce. like
Yeah, it's got all good things.
yeah, like having Peter just like do his thing, save a normal Max Dillon from frat dudes. So, oh yeah, another notable thing. Like unlike the '90s cartoon where they had to like adhere to some standards and practices of okay, we can't kill anybody, we can't use the word kill, we can just say destroy. We can't we can't show real firearms because we think the kids will get influenced with that. We can't show broken glass, and we can't have Spider-Man punch anybody. Well, guess what? Guess what? In the show, we have ultra violence, we got profanity, we have references to sex, we got drinking. So,
And yes, we have that.
and yeah, and we got death, and yeah, all those standards and practices for this show. Take that page, crumble up, and throw them out the window because hey, we on MTV, baby.
Yeah, and
I mean, when it was
mainframe.
relevant, yeah.
Mainframe and standards of practice.
Yeah, back before MTV was known for just Jersey Shore bullshit.
Yeah.
In the real world and food waste or whatever.
Already there, but
Yeah.
yeah, borderline. They went.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, this was MTV at the time where they were just airing Jackass.
Oh, right. And then there was that other spin-off to Jackass with those two guys on down a river or something.
Are you talking about Wild Boys with Steve-O and Pontius?
That show. I did watch that a little bit.
Yeah, and they had
and then they experiment of anime. And they're anime, like a short minute there. It's really interesting.
And if I'm not mistaken, is this the last animated thing that MTV distributed or showed off? Or
one of them.
It's before they just switched over to bullshit with the reality TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a shame.
Oh, I mean, I just remembered there was this is stupid. Just one small thing. This was during the time when this was a reality show, and there was a stupid show about people dating 3 people at the same time to see if they were going to date them in the end or whatever. It was a stupid show.
Yeah, that show.
Yeah, and then there was it was that show that came on with this era of MTV with the Spider-Man thing, along with of course, what was that other show? The stupid show off celebrities' houses for some odd reason or whatever.
MTV Cribs.
That's that absurd show.
Or Pimp My Ride or whatever.
Oh, Pimp My Ride was god, that was so stupid.
Pimp My Ride. I the only thing that I know about Pimp My Ride is the exhibit memes of hey, I heard you like this, so we put that in with your shit.
It was so fucking obnoxious. Come on.
And anybody know the meme I'm talking about?
Yeah. It's strange times. I remember that era a little bit because my sister was into MTV. So yeah.
I mean, you were in college at the time, more or less.
Yeah. College. Sometimes I to be watching MTV Pimp My Ride or some of those. No.
Those are the kind of shows that came on a Sunday, and it's okay, this is just fucking bad. This is fucking boring. Fuck me. Whatever.
Well,
I'll be right back. Continue.
Yeah, well, at least it ain't Teen Mom, so.
Yeah, that's true. This last air for when.
Fucking hell. So, yeah. Wait. Why aren't you talking Spider-Man? Because we were talking. I was trying to I was mentioning a bunch of shit, and then we just and when I mentioned Jackass, we just like mentioned all the other MTV shit. So.
All the other ones. Yeah.
What was another MTV show that we could like talk about and stall for Jeff's return? Um,
They didn't they bring back Beavis and Butthead like a second time during any early thing?
the what?
Beavis and Butthead. I know they
I think that's
brought
on.
them back.
I think that's on Paramount Plus now.
Yeah, but they also like brought them back for like a hot minute back in like the early 2000s, I think as well.
Oh yeah. I think they briefly did.
Yeah, it's
For
like very short lived. Like you blink and it was like gone.
yeah.
Yeah, but yes, there's new Beavis and Butthead out Paramount Plus.
Yeah, like they released a movie, and I think they're like doing a revival show on there. I think.
Yeah, because I think the movie did well.
Yeah.
People liked it, so yeah,
Yeah.
which makes sense. I mean, two idiots. Yeah,
Shut up, fart knocker.
yeah, exactly. Like,
It's
I
cool.
remember first movie, and I kind of liked it a little bit. You know, it's stupid. It's like, yeah.
uh, Another thing from MTV. Fuck. What was another thing from MTV? Like this might have been like newer, but this was probably newer, but like ridiculousness. That's still on. Holy shit.
Yeah, I remember that a little bit. Like, I don't think I watched. I remember like seeing a TV guy. It's like, okay.
Yeah, like that was a thing. Like that was still running when I was in high school. Uh, yeah, it's just America's Funniest Home Videos, but on MTV or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have no idea what else to stall until Jeff gets back.
Hmm.
Uh, Maybe I should start talking about the episode. So again, we're gonna talk about it in the chronological order that was recommended. Uh, so yeah, so this first episode is Heroes and Villains, which is the Turbojet episode. So in the beginning of the episode, so in the beginning of the episode, there's like a protest where like the apartment buildings. We're going into like the overview of the show. So I have no structure. I'm sorry, people. So yeah, blame me. So yeah, we start with the episode with protests. For like kicking people, evicting people from their homes because we don't know yet. Uh, Peter Parker's taking pictures of it, and then like later on has to do like a photo op of like some museum piece until this speed demon. Well, I call him a speed demon. Like this guy with like a high tech suit, looking like it was like built by NASA. That like pretty much allows him to go like float in super speed. Steals like this museum piece. Spider-Man has to go after him, and the guy disappears. And Peter has to ask for hey, have you seen this guy with the suit like stealing something? And they were like, fuck you, Spider-Man, and just throw their this week's groceries at him like people, you bought your groceries. Why are you throwing them out at Spider-Man?
Yeah, I never understood why people were just like, yeah, let's throw him food. Like, damn it.
I mean, you're living in New York. Like it's expensive enough to rent your apartment, and even though you're about to get evicted, but come on, you throw your groceries at him. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Damn it, I have no idea why.
It's fucking hell. So yeah, Peter retreats. And everybody's like celebrating Turbojet, that's the name of this week's villain. and Peter has like interactions with one of the custodians that's like sweeping around the campus. And yeah, and MJ wants to join the protest because hey, it's fun. I don't know why it's fun, because it's supposed to be a cause of like, hey, we want to keep our homes, don't kick us out, which is understandable for those people. And then another robbery Spider-Man has to stop. Turbo Jet that fails, and a guard is sent to the hospital, and yeah, and yeah, the all the yeah, and Turbo Jet is described as Robin Hood to the people of who are getting evicted. You know, just selling off all these pieces and giving it to the to donate to get, you know, keep their homes. And one of the plot lines is with Harry. He's actually one of the people that are he finds out that Oscorp is bulldozing the freaking apartment building of all the tenants that are getting evicted, and he had for like a science center. That's what is revealed. And
Yeah.
and so later on he has to figure out an idea of like, okay, how do I open the science center but also get new homes for these people, which is resolved at the end. And then Turbojet steals something else, and actually Peter as Spider-Man figures out who it is, because he followed the custodian home, and like found a flash in his like apartment, followed him to like a spot where he's getting like a package like full of money, and then yeah, so he figures out custodian is the is the villain of the week. And yeah, and Spider-Man still gets framed for bullshit because here comes the cops, misunderstandings, and all that shit. And then and then we get to the final thing where it has like this press conference where Harry's like giving like a like a speech, and he's got this telescope of Galileo, and here comes Turbojet but to steal it, and he stopped because like Spider-Man was there, the cops are there, and everybody got tipped off that the telescope, yeah, the one they have at the thing, yeah, it's a fake, and yeah, it's easily revealed that why did Turbojet do it? Well, the people are too stupid to help themselves, and Peter exploits that, and yeah, Turbojet is now the persona non grata, and takes MJ, and Peter gives chase, and yeah, and then stops Turbojet, and so yeah, and I'm sorry I'm going too fast, but yeah.
And I'm amazed that you're really going through episode per episode.
Yes, I am, because nobody's saying anything.
Well, okay, if you want something to say, so what do you want us to say? Anything?
I don't know. So yeah, Peter saves MJ. MJ elbows the custodian, the Turbojet, in the face, and then Spider-Man then punches him in the face because he I don't know, because he fucking rubber banded Turbojet to like the different lampposts with the webs, and then Spidey and MJ have a little talk about like what happened in the movie. Oh yeah, did I mention that this is based on the movie? I have. Well.
Which movie? The 2002 movie?
Yeah, 2002 movie.
Yeah, the Sam Raimi one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what happened in that movie, and but the people of the apartments that got evicted, well, they got their new homes, and end of episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then the next episode is Royal Scam. It is the second in the chronological, but by air date, it would be okay. Okay, I don't have the air dates. I have the chronological episode. I'm not gonna.
That's fine.
I'm not counting I'm not gonna count. I'm just gonna look up the original air date.
Okay.
Fuck it.
So given the fact he's doing this and everything, first episode interesting. Just introduces you to the thing of what's happening. It's nice. I'm amazed that throughout this. Well, spoiler alert. Throughout this entire show, there was not one whiff of fucking Aunt May in this
Yeah.
entire show.
Oh yeah.
Except for the fact that he is roommates with Harry. He somehow keeps up the rent or whatever, even though Harry probably just says, "Dude, I got this. Shut up." Don't worry."
Pretty much.
Yeah,
The Harry
and
takes most of it.
yeah, they have a nice ass apartment. That
Nice.
Yeah.
yeah, like a nice apartment. Like it's fucking huge. It's got a bar and everything, and like okay, Harry's flipping the bill with this.
Mm-hmm.
Like Peter on his like photography salary, he can't even afford like just a closet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
New York City.
yeah, which is fucking weird that they have like this nice apartment.
Well, when you come with a silver spoon, anything is kind of free game, more or less.
Yeah. Yeah, in this version of Harry, he's actually a cool dude once you don't mention Spider-Man to his face.
Yeah, he's kind of a bitch when it comes to like, oh, my daddy got killed by Spider-Man. And I'm like,
Yeah, don't
forgive him.
Yeah, don't mention it to
Gum.
yeah, just don't mention it to his face. Other than that, he seems like a chill dude you'd have a drink with.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's like one of those rich dudes where you don't mooch off him. Like, hey, he's too cool. So yeah, and so yeah, on to Royal Scam, which is the second episode chronologically, and I'm just looking at the air date, so it's like a later episode aired.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so Spider-Man sees like a helicopter like shooting everything, and so he goes on to stop it. And it turns out all that shooting, all the shooting, was all blanks, and it was just a ruse to get Spider-Man for a mission from the FBI.
Of course.
The quote unquote.
Quote unquote.
Yeah. So their mission is for him to steal a microchip that has something to do with like financial encryptions. So yeah, Spider-Man takes the mission and swings off while pretty much this was all like a ruse, and it's revealed that the mission was given by the Kingpin, voiced by Michael Clark Duncan from the Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck. So
yeah.
So does this show take place in the Daredevil universe from the Ben Affleck Daredevil? Who knows? We don't know.
I mean, do you really want that Daredevil movie to be part of this show, though? It's Daredevil. It's not it wasn't the best. Come on now. It wasn't the fucking best.
It was not good.
And then Elektra got a fucking sequel movie, which also sucked ass. And I like Jennifer Garner, but it was not
Oh, yeah.
Fucking hell.
Come on. Be honest. Fuck.
I have Elektra on DVD, and I've never watched it.
Good.
Hell, I never even finished the first 10 minutes.
I got rid of my copy years ago. I just said, fuck, this is just bad.
I don't even have a copy. Yeah, I forgot something. You're like, oh wait, she was Elektra.
Yeah, and she wasn't Elektra Nachios. The one that, I mean, never mind. I'm not going to go on a tangent. Let's move on.
Okay, back to the episode. So, yeah, Spider-Man took the mission, and Mary Jane has a play and invited everybody, and Peter goes like, I can't go, because
heartbreak.
Yeah,
forever heartbreak. Oh my god, Peter.
Yeah, chemistry. Always this cute.
Yeah, and so yeah, Peter goes on to his mission, and and he waits hours for everybody to like leave the chip alone that he's like supposed to go after. So yeah, And so he goes like, oh, okay, I need to call MJ. Hey, I'm gonna go to your play. He goes like, and she's excited, and after that he grabs the chip, goes to Kingpin, delivers the thing, and yeah, goes back to the theater to meet up with MJ, uh, or like get seated for the play, but he sees a familiar face, that FBI agent that he talked to in the beginning of the episode. Yeah, turns out he was an actor. And he goes like, yeah, so yeah, Peter now feels like a sucker.
He got played.
Yeah, so he goes off to find a limo that has Kingpin in it. To the point where he's been searching, like he searched so much that he mistaken one limo for him, for the Kingpin, and was actually a married couple.
Yeah.
Which was hilarious. And then finally found Kingpin, and finally attacks him, and yeah, they go into an alley, and then Peter beats up the goons, goes head toe to toe with Fisk, and then Fisk dominates and then escapes.
Pretty much, Fisk is the main villain of this entire episode, and it's a big thing because Spider-Man's never dealt with someone like that before who could probably match him point for blow with his strength, even though he uses a stupid staff, so it doesn't really matter
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's just an adaptation or
yeah,
something.
the Scepter. Even though this is based on the Raimi verse, apparently this one shoots laser beams. Even though the most advanced technology in that universe would have been the Green Goblin's glider.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, Peter. So yeah, after getting his ass kicked, Peter calls makes an anonymous tip to the FBI, and realizes that, oh shit, I missed the play. Fuck.
Yeah.
So yeah, he apologizes to MJ and promises to I'll try it again. I'll try it again. I'll see the next showing. And then the next day he gets the flowers and everything. Well, the flowers that he could afford, like a whole. He can't even afford like a whole thing. He only could afford like 3 flowers.
Yeah.
Because Peter's that fucking broke. So yeah, he makes it to the theater and he gets pulled into a van, and it's actually the real FBI with one of the agents played by Keith David. And he's getting interrogated.
Yay.
Yeah, and he's getting interrogated for everything and.
Yeah.
For everything and fucking like, so he goes like, "What's your connection to Spider-Man?" and all that bullshit, and so yeah, and and sees Peter has like this tape and goes like, "What is this, bioterrorism and all that?" Because like it's conspiracy bullshit, and then throws Peter on like the side of the other side of the George Washington Bridge because they're on their way to fucking Jersey. For some reason.
Jersey.
Yeah, and MJ's even.
Jersey.
Yeah, and MJ's even more miffed because he goes like, you okay? If you didn't want to go, just say so. Don't have to make up a bunch of bullshit. Like because he's told her that the FBI arrested him. Well, I wouldn't say arrest him, but they abducted him for a second. So next up, Peter gets the call from the FBI, and he goes like, okay, I'll here's the tip and all that, and so yeah, anonymous tip, helicopter, all that details, and then Kingpin tells him his plan to take control of every bank around the world, so he has all the power and income and all that shit. Yeah, and then but that gets foiled with, and then later on, that gets foiled with where the FBI find Kingpin where he's like at the hangar, and Kingpin escapes into the helicopter, goes like, we'll meet again next time, assholes. And then Peter goes like, fuck this, I'm going on the helicopter to stop him. Disables the helicopter. And grabs Fisk, but Peter Peter's grip slips, and Fisk falls down. Falls like many stories down, which should have killed them. But here's a flash, cut to black, and then flash back into the show, and it turns out Fisk is alive. Peter saved him like that, trapped him inside like this giant's like that crane that the helicopter crashed in, and like pretty much used it as like his own prison. So,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Peter finally makes it to the damn play.
Oh, well, he made it to the play, but he's saying all these things, and MJ's taking the compliments, but Ashley turns away. There's like a small tear that just showcases that she didn't get on stage, and that she knew he was lying, but reasons. To her forever heartbreak. Like, oh, Peter, you're always breaking my heart, or some shit like that. I don't know.
No. Like she didn't see. I thought she didn't see him because he was in the audience. Maybe he was too far back. But she like, with the next show, and she can't go on. Like probably got kicked out or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened.
Yeah.
So, but she was crying at the end. So, said tears. So something happened that like.
She knows.
Something saddened her, and Peter was being a sweetheart to her.
Yeah.
Those were not tears of happiness. Those were tears of sadness, though.
Yeah.
MJ might be a lot of things. She's just not. She would never tell him something about what's going on in her life. And what the fuck does she do all day besides go to the theater and then wind up getting kidnapped by every fucking mini boss or whatever in this entire 13-episode show? She goes to class. She likes fucking what's the word? She likes Shakespeare because of course. Because what
Shakespeare?
What
that one later episode of Flash?
Yes.
Or Flash. Okay, we'll get to that episode when we get to it.
Okay.
Alright. Which okay, I need to remember what okay, that it is also a later episode. So, alright. It was a later episode that aired later. So wait. Oh yeah, it did air like after this episode. Well, not immediately after, but No, wait, yeah, it aired. No, it aired after the Flash memory aired after Heroes and Villains, which is like the first episode we were talking about. Okay. Now I'm just looking at the episode air dates, and I'm like, oh my god, that's the order of my fucking DVDs.
Yep.
Yeah, like those 3 episodes. Okay, so that was the end of episode 2. Now we're going on to episode 3, which was okay, I'm just looking at the air dates. So I guess this is like the second or third or fourth episode that aired. So it's called Law of the Jungle, and this is the lizard episode.
Yeah.
Oh god, of course there can be no show without the lizard for like 1 episode.
So we got this episode. Peter's working with Dr. Connors, who is voiced by Rob Zombie. Rob motherfucking Zombie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Of all people. So they're figuring out lizard DNA and with the human genome and all that shit. And Peter leaves, and then Dr. Connors injects himself with the lizard DNA, regrowing his arm.
Yeah.
And it is the night before the anniversary, and Peter meets up with his friends, and it is the night before the anniversary of Norman Osborn's death from the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Harry's like not happy about that, and he's like surprised that Peter remembered it. So yeah, they all hang out, but Peter forgets to get the readings to Dr. Connors, so he goes back to find him. But Dr. Connors is walking home, and he passes by like a guard and like some armored truck, and here comes a guy with a double barrel shotgun. I'm like, double barrel? Why? Because a lot of the shotguns are double barrels, and I'm like, in a practical sense, that's not useful.
Yeah.
So, because you got two shots and you got to reload like every time. But this guy with the this guy steals the truck. Well, he threatens Dr. Connors before he steals the truck. Spider-Man comes in. The thief goes into goes into the armored car. Spider-Man stops him, and the thief gets arrested. And Doc Connors said, "Hey, Spider-Man saved me," and all that shit. And we have this recurrent cop who's like not a big fan of Spider-Man. He's basically J. Jonah Jameson from the '90s cartoon because it's Ed Asner voicing him.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Ed Asner.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Ed Asner. You were awesome. So,
Yes, he was.
yeah, and Peter shows up out of nowhere, and the cop recognizes Peter, like, "Hey, didn't I see you in this, like, that one other incident, and a bunch of shit?" So you're like, yeah, you're always there suspiciously. I'm gonna need to talk to you. So yeah, Peter is now gonna go to the police precinct for questioning. But before that, Peter meets up with MJ and Harry to rearrange his dad Norman Osborn's office at the Oscorp Tower, or like clean shit up. So Peter helps out for a little bit because he has to go in for questioning. Doc Connors injects more lizard DNA and becomes the lizard. And goes to the police precinct to kill the guy that threatened him, and it's full on horror. We got like everything's blacked out and cool shadow, like the cool like black shading on like everybody. So like with the cell shading, it's pretty awesome, and the thief from earlier that robbed the armored car. Yeah, he has a gruesome death because you see a severed hand. So yeah, our first bit of ultra violence. Spider-Man, he's like crawling around like, what the hell's going on? And he finds out about the lizard, and the lizard disappears, and Spider-Man dips because like the cops point guns at him like, you're under arrest, and yeah, that's why he dips.
Uh-huh.
And he's trying to, and then the next day he finds out that class is canceled, and he's surprised by that because Dr. Connors never cancels. And Dr. Connors is being very suspicious. Peter gets a sample, like grabs the lab coat full of scales, or because there's scales everywhere. What the fuck is up with this? And finds out that the lizard is actually Dr. Connors, and Dr. Connors is injecting himself so much, and the reason why he's doing that is because some experiment that he did at his where he originally worked caused an accident that severed his arm, and it was from Oscorp. Now Doc Connors injects himself with more DNA. Now he's gone feral.
Yeah.
And he goes up to Oscorp. And Harry is there. Just like cleaning up and reminiscing of the old days and with his dad. And he gets attacked by the lizard. And Spider-Man comes in to save the day. And it's like a horror movie. So Peter fights off the lizard, and it takes it up to the top of the building. Lizard is about to kill Spider-Man, but his arm goes through one of the fucking like fans of like what I believe is the air conditioning or something like that, and like the spinning fan cuts off his arm. Peter grabs Dr. Connors and goes up to that police helicopter that was conveniently there, and but Dr. Connors, because he's a feral animal now, cuts the web line, falls to his death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peter and MJ check up on Harry to see if he's all right because he got scratched up, and Harry's fine, and he goes like, "You guys go to get the pizza. But here's some money. Get some pizza. I'm buying."
But, always go after. They always eat pizza. Jeez.
Hey, they're college kids, so.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess it was easy, of course.
It's either pizza or ramen.
Well, and he's always flipping the bill, and Harry stays behind.
Yeah.
Stays behind, look at everything, and finds out about what happened or something like that. And he goes, and he's just disappointed what he sees.
Yeah.
And Harry, Peter and Mary Jane kiss and all that. And end of episode.
Yep.
And what episode is that? 3?
Yeah, that was episode 3 of the chronological order. So what? Any thoughts on this episode?
It was enjoyable. Like I enjoyed it. Dr. Connor got killed off. Kind of was hoping to be brought back. I understood, but thankfully obviously this series is not really canon to the movies anymore. So we get Dr. Connor.
We get Dr. Connors in the second movie and the second and third movie.
Second and third movie.
Yeah. Yeah, so, it would have been cool if the show was actually canon, but as always, the movies always dictate the canon of everything.
Pretty much.
Yeah, true.
So, up to the 4th episode of the chronological order is The Sword of Shikata, and it has a new villain, or new character named Shikata, who's an immortal samurai assassin who's working for an independent movie producer that holds a lot of rare animals as trophies, and he wants Spider-Man, so he hires her. And why did I say he's an independent movie producer? Well, a certain independent movie of his also stars Mary Jane.
Of course.
Yeah.
And Mary Jane hates it because the script is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Which, if an actor says the script is shit, that basically means it's bad, and you should run away from that film.
Yeah, that sure does for money. Insert the room here.
Yeah.
It's probably The Room 2.
Room 2. Let's
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. The main. He's Tommy Wiseau. Oh my god.
Yes.
Now I want Tommy Wiseau in Spider-Man.
You be like, you tear me apart, Spider-Man.
You betrayed me! Ah!
Oh hi. Oh hi, Peter. How's your sex life? What a cool story, Harry.
Hey, let's go down the alleyway and just play some football. Ha 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 ha.
Like he plays football with Harry and Peter, and maybe Flash is there too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, donkey.
Oh shit.
Fucking hell. Oh my god. Mary Jane in Wiseau's The Room. What the fuck?
Hey, you could have been.
Instead of being in fucking LA or San Francisco, Tommy Wiseau was in New York with Greg Sestero.
Oh fuck.
Like him with Greg Sestero.
Yeah.
And team up with Spider-Man.
Hey,
Hello,
hi, Spider-Man. Oh.
Spider-Man.
Oh, hi, Spider-Man. We
Oh,
hired an
hi.
assassin to come after you, so you'd be one of my trophies, huh?
Spider-Man, watch out!
Hello, Spider-Man. I need you
I
for
did
my
not hire her.
mission.
It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hire her. I did not. Oh, hi, Peter.
I did not.
Oh, and then he would find a way to have sex with Mary Jane to some R&B music.
Well, MJ in the episode has fucking pepper spray, so that wouldn't happen. Like,
That's true.
hey, she wouldn't want to have him like fuck her belly button.
Oh, yeah. Belly button. Oh, my God.
Because if you watch the sex scenes in the room, I'm like, that is not how that works.
It
Yeah,
really
I don't
isn't.
think you
It really
can
isn't.
insert that in there.
3 sex scenes in a row in that fucking movie. Oh, God damn it.
Lisa!
There you go.
I am so happy I did watch that movie when it was like when Tommy Wiseau leaked that movie on on his YouTube. I was like, oh shit, I gotta watch this quick. And then I posted it on Discord and you guys watched it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a train wreck. Train wreck.
It's
I mean, yeah.
it's fucking hell.
That's why I like Adult Swim sometimes. Will
Yeah,
just
like
rerun the room.
yeah, the Adult Swim used to rerun that every year for April Fool's Day
Yeah, for a couple years until
until
that
two.
one.
Yeah, until Tsunami. Yeah. Sorry for sidetracking this. We just had some fun talking, just fucking around, like
Yeah.
with the our Spider-Man canon. You know what? Fine. CJM. It's official. Tommy Wiseau's in
Oh,
the Spider-Man universe.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah. So yeah. MJ's in a shitty independent movie, and Peter has to fight an immortal assassin,
Who
Shikata.
grows to respect him?
Yeah, and
Yes.
Shikata grows to respect him with each encounter, and
Yeah.
yeah, Shikata's a cool character so far.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, and so her and Spider-Man fight like in an alley that was like pretty much made into like an arena, and but she was like, but yeah, Spider-Man was lured there because like the two henchmen were beating the shit out of each other and then stopped and surprised Spider-Man and trapped him, and then the cops came in to like uncage it and but to arrest everybody, and then Shikata and Spider-Man just like dip out. So yeah, Spider-Man
Yeah.
Shikata meet again and like on top of a building. Shikata's like doing like a meditation with the sword, and they have so yeah, her and Spider-Man like talk, and she comes to the conclusion of I don't wanna I guess there's more to you than meets the eye there, Spider-Man. I'm not gonna take you in as a trophy. I'm gonna kill you with honor. Because you are a good warrior. And Peter's like, okay. I hope that
Yeah.
does. Okay, but I don't want that to come to that. But I don't want that to come to that conclusion and all that. So yeah, MJ, like she's in a shitty independent movie, goes to Harry and talks about how like the script is terrible and that she passed the screen test, even though yeah, and so Osborn decides, you know what, let me help out with this, and pretty much helped out Mary Jane, like for like get an appointment with the producer Richard Damian. I forgot to mention his name. I don't know how I met. I'm just gonna call him Tommy Wiseau for now on.
Hey, Kate. Right.
So Tommy, so yeah, we got so yeah, Mary Jane now has a new appointment with them. Shikata goes up to the Wiseau and tells them, yeah, our deal's off. I'm gonna kill Spider-Man. You're not gonna have him as a trophy, and he's pissed off, and yeah, she leaves, and Wiseau goes like, hey, why don't you go ahead and take care of her or something like that. and Richard Damian's right hand man, who's Clancy Brown, goes up with his men who apparently have fucking tasers but shoot like actual guns for some reason. Go on to hunt down Shikata, and one of them die. Well, a couple of them die, but apparently Shikata has a healing factor because she uses she uses the power of the moon from her sword. So that is useful for her. And then Spider-Man shows up and helps her out, and then Richard Damian's right hand man runs away, and then the next scene, Shikata goes after Richard Damian. Yeah, so she kills Tommy Wiseau. He's nothing like Tommy Wiseau. I'm just making a joke, but Shikata pretty much decapitates a motherfucker. Again, ultra violence.
Yes.
So and then MJ goes up to the house of Richard Damian and sees that oh no, he's the producer of the movie that she's starring in is dead. She sees Shikata in in the courtyard, in the backyard, and she is fucking old, and she's using the moon, like she's meditating in front of the moon, and rejuvenates to her younger self, and she sees Mary Jane and a thing of like, okay, the chase is on. And
the chase is on, Chris. The chase is on.
The chase is on.
Yeah, because
the chase is on. All right.
So MJ dips out and calls the police, and okay, Shikata doesn't really chase her. She's just like walking in the middle of the street, and goes.
They didn't have the animation budget for her to run.
She's just walking, and like some cab goes like, "Hey, I'm driving here." Stabs the engine of the cab because she has no fucking chill right now. She wants to kill Spider-Man with honor. Hey, Spider-Man, we fight with honor. One of us will die, and Spider-Man goes like, okay, fine, I'll fight ya. And then MJ's in the audience, and she's getting held up by one of the assholes that was working with Shikata. But she later breaks free because she got the pepper spray, and so Spider-Man also gets crushed by a car because Shikata also has telekinesis powers, via moon energy or ki and all that shit, and Spider-Man gets some really bad battle damage, apparently. Also, the way Spider-Man fights is pretty much like Bruce Lee in this fight scene. The way he does the stance, that is some Bruce Lee shit right there. Yeah, and Shikata actually stabs Spider-Man in the shoulder. And he finds out that Shikata's weakness is actually the sword. So Peter grabs the sword, stabs it on the ground, and breaks the damn blade, and kills Shikata, and she turns to dust.
Yeah.
Dust up.
Yeah.
So pretty much at the end of that fight and everything, it goes back to normal or whatever, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah. So sorry for the silence. I was replying to Ben's thing. He was asking if it was a commentary or a movie night, and I replied we're doing CJM at the moment. So maybe he joins, maybe not. Who knows?
Tell him to come on. He's gonna get very antsy.
Okay.
Says, come on.
Yeah. I mean, the villain, she was pretty much like Lady Shiva, only with moon powers, so pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed her. And
or
maybe she'll make spirits again.
Or she could have been Elektra. Who knows?
True.
So,
yeah.
Next episode is Keeping Secrets, which is the episode about Talon, aka Black Cat.
Yeah.
And
This
yeah,
is Harry's girlfriend, right?
yeah. In this episode, it's about Harry's new girlfriend, and
She's cool.
yeah, Talon was pretty cool. Like even though it's obvious she's supposed to be Black Cat.
Yeah.
Like no,
Nothing can contain me. Nothing can hold me. Yada yada yada.
yeah,
I'm free as the wind.
yeah, and her and she just robbed some place, and Spider-Man comes in, and in Talon, she's like fucking she's dressed up like some '90s like comic book spy with purple hair. So
Yeah.
and one of you mentioned that she looks like the Major from Ghost in the Shell.
Michael
Yeah.
did because he likes Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah. Month ago. She got a little bit like the goggle, the
Yeah,
purple hair, kind of like that. That's kind of cyber.
yeah. Her and Spider-Man have a brief fight, and Spider-Man unmasks her, and yeah, and she disappears because Spider-Man had to stop something from falling off an under construction building. And yeah, and she made fun of and yeah, Talon made fun of Spider-Man's choice of clothing, spandex,
It's spandex.
and Peter's like, this is so not spandex.
Not, I swear.
and while she's wearing like some leather suit or something, I don't know, something form fitting. Yeah, and then so yeah, Harry is hanging out with his girlfriend and they are bungee jumping off a bridge.
Couples do that. I've seen videos.
I'd be scared shitless to do that. I'd be scared shitless to bungee jump because I think the whiplash would hurt me too bad.
You are not Gwen
Yeah,
Stacy. That I think
snap.
that
Oh, here you go.
I think they try to make it as somewhat safe as you possibly can.
Yeah.
I don't.
I wouldn't do it either though. No.
I don't trust the bungee. I don't trust it.
I don't like heights. So, yeah.
Who doesn't like? Does anyone in this group have any like rebellious soul just to go money jump off a bridge?
Fuck no.
Drunk enough, maybe. You bought me 12
I'm
beers.
just- I'm just hoping the bungee doesn't fucking snap.
Yeah, that's the issue. Nah, so you're gonna be in a world of pain.
Well, you'll be dead, so you won't really be in
dead.
pain.
And you'll be like in your afterlife talking to God saying, well, I was an idiot. Like St. Peter's gonna be like, moron.
So yeah, Peter and MJ are surprised that Harry has a date, and he wants to cook dinner. And Peter's like, "Who are you, and what have you done with Harry Osborn?"
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're going like, "This is not Harry," but he's doing it anyway. So they're cooking, and they're waiting for Harry's new girlfriend, whose name is Cheyenne. And then she shows up, and Peter's like, "Oh shit!" And here she is, in like 2000s, in the typical 2000s getup with like skirt, crop top, and she's got a fucking tramp stamp too, which is also shown in her costume. I'm like, how are you not caught? You better you better cover up your fucking tattoo, otherwise, because it will easily identify you. So yeah, and they all hang out for dinner. Yeah, Peter goes like MJ goes like, "What? Okay, you can stop staring at her. I know she's hot, but Peter's goes like, I'm not saying that. I'm not staring at her because she's hot. I'm staring at her because she robbed something."
Yeah.
Yeah. And Peter has concern over her because she's dating Harry, and he doesn't want Harry to be hurt, for the fact that either she would get arrested or killed.
She's a gold digger.
Yeah, that's probably the
we thought she was a gold digger, but she just
yeah.
But it looked like
she robs for thrills.
Yeah, she just robs things for thrills. Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, and when she leaves, like she goes home to like put like put on her gear, and it looks like an opening to some 2000s video game with cel shaded animation,
Mm.
Yeah.
like the way she puts on her costume. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, she goes out to like observe her target, and Peter comes like Spider-Man comes in and goes like, "Hey, trying to convince her to not do this life," and she goes like, "You're full of shit." So yeah, they all that, and then the next day, Harry's having okay. No wait. The next day, Peter, MJ, Harry, and Cheyenne do rock climbing, and
My shoulder.
Cheyenne makes fun of Peter, going like, "Yeah, I guess you're bored or something." And Peter goes like, "You know what? Fuck this." And he starts wall crawling like with his powers instead of like climbing like just grabbing a rock. And
So he could do it if he really wanted to. He just chooses not to use his powers.
yeah, but this time he goes like, you know what? Because he got jealous or like you know what? Maybe I should just show off. Fuck it. So yeah, and then so yeah, fuck. And Cheyenne went to. So after that, Cheyenne. Well, no wait. Mary Jane fell off, and Cheyenne saved her. And goes like, oh and Peter's like, damn it.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so yeah. After that, next scene, Harry's like having the jitters, like, dude, I'm scared, and all that. Or, oh yeah. In this episode, it's not it's apply. Well, you know what? Let's just say it. Harry and Cheyenne fucked, and
Yes.
Peter goes like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I can't tell Harry that she's the Talon. He's happy with her and all that. All that Peter like, because Peter was planning on telling Harry that she's a thief. She's like she's like a high tech thief. I gotta tell you. And then he was like, okay, no, I have to convince her to stop this life.
No post nut clarity would work on this relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, and so yeah, Cheyenne was telling Harry about like, hey, I gotta go hang out, and like, okay, I'll stay and all that bullshit, like all the lovey-dovey shit with couples, and Harry one time goes to Peter, go like, hey, I'm having some anxiety, man. Can we just hang out? And Peter goes like, no, I gotta do a thing because Peter made a plan with Talon, Cheyenne, like as Spider Man, you're like, hey, let's meet up and do something. And he goes like, hey, I gotta do. Hey, when I get back, maybe we could like order pizza or something like that. Like watch a movie. And Harry goes like, okay, that's cool. So Peter goes out as Spider Man and still like giving it a chance to like convince Cheyenne to stop her shit. Uh, and But the cops show up and attack both Spider-Man and Cheyenne, and Cheyenne gets shot, and but she survives, and she runs away, and then the next scene, Harry and Cheyenne broke up, and Harry's like devastated, and Peter goes like, "Hey man, let's go get some donuts," and yeah, and that's the end of the episode.
That Peter's paying for because
Apparently,
Yeah.
you didn't
You're
come out,
gonna pay for the donuts.
you didn't hang out
You're,
last night, so fuck you. Come on, you're buying.
yeah, you're paying for the donuts.
yeah, Peter's paying for the donuts, but knowing Peter with his broke ass, apparently Harry will have to buy. So yeah. So yeah, that was the episode. Next episode, Tight Squeeze. So this is pretty much Spider-Man, but Die Hard. It's Die Hard with Spider-Man. So
Okay.
so yeah, we're at like a so the episode begins with like a pitch meeting of like marketing with this one company and all that shit. Uh, and then Pterodex, which is like this former KGB like agent like filled up with former KGB agents, and they have like these high tech flight suits with sonic weapons, and they're after some high tech. They're after some experimental diamonds that could help out for weaponry, and Spider-Man stops them, and their plan is to distract the authorities and Spider-Man because Spider-Man will be on patrol, and the building that they just raided will be heavily guarded. So yeah, and Peter got pictures, and he can't, and he's trying to sell them to J. Jonah Jameson, and J. Jonah Jameson's voiced by Keith Carradine or David. Which one?
I think it's
one of the Carradines. I forget. Wait, which one?
Yeah.
Which one was the more famous Carradine?
I think it's David.
Okay, it was probably Keith Carradine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I get their names mixed up. I don't know why I'm mixing up their names. It's fucking weird in my head.
I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah. So yeah. But Peter later goes to the competitor Empire One. They're basically the CNN of this universe, and or for New York, and he sells some footage. Tries to sell some footage, and that goes nowhere. And he later bumps into one of the researchers named Indira Daimunji, or just Indy, and she becomes a recurring character for the rest of the show. And she's pretty cool. She's like a mix between Betty Brant and Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
She's awesome. I love her.
Yeah, she was pretty.
She's pretty cool.
Yeah, she was pretty cool, and Peter. So yeah, Peter sees like his spider sense goes off, like some hard drive was about to hit Indy, but Peter webs the cable, and pretty much Indy, while she's talking, Peter's trying to think of a way to have her move, and he tells her, hey, I got some footage. You want to check it out? And she's like, oh, cool. And yeah, he saves her from getting crushed by a hard drive.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, and after that, Peter has a burnt CD as a thank you to her, because after he saved her, she recommended footage for the news, because Peter's not only good for photography but videography, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and Peter, as a thank you, made a ripped CD where Harry goes like, "That's a little much, dude."
Yeah.
Yes.
Apparently.
Yeah, it does bring up good point. A couple. Joe, yes, that's the thank you. A video.
Or like a custom or a CD full of downloaded music or some shit.
Yeah,
Like, who knows what's on that disc? So yeah, he bumps into MJ, and MJ's just pasted around thinking about what she wants to do with Peter and all that. And so Peter comes in hey, I got the CD, and giving it to someone who's a thank you, MJ goes like, hey, you want to go to the movies? And Peter goes like, oh yeah, sure, after I do a thing. And Peter runs off to Empire One News, and meets up with ND, and gives her the disc, and they talk. They got some good chemistry. Sparks are flying, and then Spider Sense tingles, and then here comes Pterodex, and holds the new station hostage.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where Die Hard comes in.
Yeah.
So they
on the top of the building, too.
Yeah. So Pterodex goes like, hey, let's all right, anybody who knows how to operate a camera? Peter volunteers, and to record their message, and their message is, hey, we are former Russian military secret agents, KGB bullshit.
Yeah.
And we want Spider-Man, and here's these bombs here. So yeah, he better show up or our hostages will die. So
Yeah.
so Peter steals steals one of the walkie-talkies, like one of the radios from one of the dudes, and which pisses the guy off, going like, "Who took my communicator? Who took it?" And he's just sticking his sonic gun in everybody's faces, and so the leader goes like, "Shut the fuck up!" And the leader, I forgot to mention the leader. The leader is voiced by James Marsters, aka Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, or
Yeah.
also Brainiac in Smallville, also Piccolo in Dragon Ball Evolution, as well as Zamasu from Dragon Ball Super. I don't know why I don't know why I mentioned those. I just thought it'd be cool
Eh, they're good.
Because James Marsters is awesome. Anyway,
Yes, he.
so this episode continues, and Peter goes back to like with the hostages, and goes, and as soon as nobody's looking, he jumps out of the way, crawls out of the building, and changes to Spider-Man to save the hostages. Where's Pterodax? Oh, they're gone. Okay, everybody, get the fuck out. Indy, yeah, don't worry. Peter Parker is out. Yeah, and all that. So, yeah, see you there. And so yeah, Peter grabs all the bombs, disarms them except one because he was running out of time. Throw it out the window, and boom. And yeah, and the pterodactyls were like, well, everything went as planned. All the authorities are at the building, and yeah, that was a good distraction. So they finally get the diamond. They finally get the weaponized diamonds, and so when they get to the call, here's Spider-Man going like, Alexi can't come to the phone right now. He's tied up at the moment. But yeah, but I'll be coming there in a sec. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker! He doesn't say that. I just added that for effect.
I mean, it was nice.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker! So yeah, Spider-Man fights them off, and so yeah, we get a scene where like it's what if like, so it's pretty much like if Spider-Man was fighting Iron Man, you know, like hey, we're flying around the city, and Spider-Man disarms the jetpack, and yeah, he stopped Pterodax, and went back to Empire 1, dressed back as Peter Parker. Here's like MJ and Harry. They're like, Peter's okay, yeah. MJ goes up to like see how he's going, but Indy beats her, and Indy kisses Peter, and MJ runs away because like yeah, he's kissing another girl. Well, don't run off and cry because I like them.
That's what she does. She's always crying about something. Oh, you know, I should something else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a very awkward moment.
Yeah, awkward. Like dun dun dun.
So yeah. Next episode, we have the episode Head Over Heels, aka Crazy Stalker Bitch.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So in this
That
in this episode we meet Christina, and she is a crazy inventor who's very obsessed with Spider-Man. She gets Peter Parker as her lab partner, and everybody's like going, "Oh, she's crazy." And I see Ben's in the chat. Hey, Ben.
Hey Ben.
Welcome to CJM.
Let's go.
So yeah, Ben's here. We're up to the episode with the crazy bitch.
Yep.
That is voiced by Tara.
That's right.
That is voiced by Tara Strong, and throughout the whole episode. So yeah, she does like an experiment about reading thoughts, and pretty much gave her brain damage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one time where something bad happens, and instead of getting superpowers, you just get horribly named.
Yeah, get brain damage via schizophrenia.
Yeah, it makes it worse.
Yeah, and she's just like getting attention from Spider-Man by just jumping off a building, like, "It is true, you saved me, we're soulmates." Peter's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Yeah. Like what?
Only
No.
what's wrong with her is that she keeps seeing pictures of Spider-Man and they talk to her.
Yeah.
She doesn't question this.
Yeah, that's wrong. You need
Yeah.
help with that.
Yeah, a brain damage induced schizophrenia.
Yes.
Yeah, her obsession just like conjured up, all that, and she realized that like wait, he's in love with this Mary Jane girl, and like and talked to the picture of Spider-Man, going like, you never told me that, and he goes I didn't know. Because she's not right in the head, and she kidnaps Mary Jane, and takes her on top of some hotel where it looks like a wedding's about to happen. So yeah, Spider-Man shows up, tries to stop Christina from, because apparently like her weapon, the weapon that she made, is a glue gun that is very acidic for some reason, and like
Yeah.
that's a hazard, lady.
Yeah, it was a failed
Eat
experiment.
it.
She tried to make like some sort of glue with an acid base, and instead of making a glue, she just made uh, whatever the alien spits out.
Yeah, acid.
Yeah.
She just made an acid gun. So yeah, and then they go to the elevators, and because Christina is a petty bitch, she just like sprays the acid glue on all the elevator cables, and and Spider-Man saves all the elevators, goes to the elevator with MJ and Christina, saves MJ, tries to save Christina's elevator car, but because she went fucking nuts, sprays the acidic glue, and and her car falls down, and she has a broken neck, and and still going crazy, and oh yeah. Oh yeah, and she tried to. Oh yeah, and before that, back in the top of the building, she tried to read Spider-Man's thoughts and try to figure out who's the real identity of Spider-Man, and she mistaked it for one of the baristas at one of the coffee stands, and
Yep.
yeah, and the barista, his name's Wang, and they look at him like he is totally not Spider-Man. But the joke is that Wang is voiced by Reno Romano, who was Spider-Man the PS1 games.
Yes.
So that was a cool reference to that, and that was the end of the episode.
So is she dead?
No, Christina's fine. She's just
She's in the hospital, more likely. Probably gonna be, put in a psych ward.
probably had enough to Ravencroft, because that's the
Yeah.
Arkham Asylum with the Spider-Man universe, or the Marvel universe
Yeah, that's
anyway.
good point.
So that was head over heels, and then we get to the party, which is the Electro episode, aka the first episode they aired.
Yes.
And this one,
Amazing.
and this one was written by Michael. Was actually written by Brian Michael Bendis himself.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, because like the show was originally going to be based on his comic at the time.
Oh, that's a good one.
So yeah, he had a writing credit on it. So we get Max Dillon, and this was the first episode aired, like I mentioned earlier, and when you watch it, you go like, yeah, this is totally the first episode that was aired, and so Max Dillon, he's he's a shy nerd, like even geekier than Peter, and and pretty much his origin story throughout this episode, why he becomes Electro, hazing, college hazing by some frat douchebags, and Max is in the limo, and he's blindfolded, has like football helmet on his head, his hands are tied or duct taped together, and goes like, what the fuck is going on? And the frat boys are making fun of him, and apparently Max decided to, not decided to, but he accidentally started driving the limo, and the frat boys were like, what the fuck? Why'd you let him? And all that, and then Spider-Man goes after the limo the limo crashes into like a construction site full of cement, and Peter gets Max out, and yeah, Max is pissed because embarrassing moment. So yeah, that was the opening of the episode, and then Peter swings to class, and he's late. He's trying to change into his clothes, and burning his feet because it's fucking hot out, and he makes it to class late. Also, I forgot to mention that Max Dillon was in the previous episode with a crazy bitch. So just as a reminder that episodes were aired out of order. So Peter's talking with Max. Max is just being bullied. Is like, hey, this is like high school all over again, because like both Max and Peter were nerds, and Max sees he's idolizing this frat boy named Doug Reisman, he's a douche.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they were about to beat up, and Peter stands up to him, and they about to assault Peter, and Peter does his like spider ninja skills, but Peter realizes like, I'm using powers. Time to hold back. Time to take a hit, and so the Oscar award goes to Peter getting his ass kicked by the frat douchebags.
It's always the other. It's always the other being picked on by fucking jocks consistently, no matter what day school year. It's always a thing. Oh, he's a nerd. Fuck you. You think you're smarter than us?
Yeah, and Doug Reisman. Doug is like, hey Max, what? Hey, let's have an induction ceremony, an initiation for you. To like, hey, I'm throwing a party. You want to come? Hey, let's go. Might even join our fraternity. And then Peter hears about the party from MJ and Harry, and goes like, hey, maybe I could come. And they go like, he's not coming. I'm right here. I'm coming. And they're making bets of whether he would go or not. So yeah, the party gets started. Harry and Mary Jane are there. Max is there, and then we see a girl that Max likes, and her name is Sally. And why do we know her name is Sally? Well, it's because she appears in a few episodes after this, and like being a major part for the Electro episode, the next Electro episode that when he shows up. Max gets picked out, and they're about to do an initiation for him, and like doing like I don't know, like some sort of like ritual, like they're all dressed in robes, the fraternity, and Max gets projected, and they shoot paintballs at him, and it's very embarrassing and demoralizing for him.
Yeah, it sucks.
So everybody laughs at him. The only people that don't laugh at Max are Sally, MJ, and Harry. They're like the only three people that don't laugh at him. Like, I don't know about Harry not laughing, because I didn't really pay attention to him. I just know that Sally and MJ didn't laugh because they were like, what the hell happened to him?
Okay, hold on, pause. What's worse, being laughed at, or having people not laugh but feel sympathy, or what's the word? That other word, pity you for what happened and everything. What's worse, pity or getting laughed at? Huh?
Laughing.
Okay.
Because like MJ and Sally in that moment were actually being fucking human and not being assholes.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's true.
even if they're pitying you, they're at least taking you seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely stole that from a YouTube video I saw like 2 days ago.
Well, I mean, it's true.
Yeah. So freaking Max like runs out. It's raining, and he goes up to like some electrical sign, goes like fuck this and everything, and throws a rock at like the sign, and like a bunch of the gas like gets on him. Lightning strikes the sign and electrocutes him, filled with so much energy that it turns him into Electro, resembling
So
his
he
old.
doesn't get brain damage. He just gets superpowers.
He
Only
gets
maybe he gets both.
Yeah, he gets superpowers and pretty much like he looks like his Ultimate Uniform with the blue, pretty much like Amazing Spider-Man, but like he has like spiky anime hair, like so he looks like Wayne Static. And he goes back to the frat house with the party and murders Doug Reisman, but like electrocuting him. But he accidentally hurts Sally, and he kills Doug, and his mind gets so warped like all he can see is Doug, and attempts to attack everybody. But here comes Spider-Man, here to stop Electro, and then during the fight, Spider-Man realizes that wait, Max? Like he could see through the transformation and goes like, "What the hell happened to you, dude?"
Yeah.
So it's like Amazing Spider-Man too, but better.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Yeah, but Electro has more sympathy. Instead of him being a fucking simp for Spider-Man, he's just like a mistreated misfit. And so yeah, him and Peter fight. Yeah, Peter and Max fight for like a while, and then Peter figures out how to stop Max, and Max disappears because Peter took like a piece of cable that said ground, and yeah, pretty much grounded Electro. And yeah, and then the cops show up and they're about to, and Peter's like, hey, wait, I just saved everybody, and he still got shot at. So
Yeah.
yeah, although he stopped the bad guy, it was a bust.
Yeah, that's
Bittersweet.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was
This
a
is
better.
why you should never tease anyone or pick on anyone that's different from you.
Yeah,
And all that stuff.
he stopped the bad. He stopped the villain, but the villain turned out to be one of his friends.
I'd say more just
Okay.
man. What's the
Okay,
acquaintance? A sad acquaintance that you felt sympathy for, and you just
okay,
wished that circumstances were better for him.
okay. Friend is too big a word. More like a classmate who had trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone you could relate to.
Yeah, because
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, because Peter himself is a bullied kid.
Raise your hand if you're ever bullied in school.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Maybe
all of us had like at any point like either elementary, middle, high. Man.
Middle school for me, strictly. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Elementary school, I lucked out and stopped getting bullied because massive growth spurts. But unfortunately, this also meant that most people became deathly afraid of me.
Yeah, kids suck.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially middle school when
Especially
you
middle
get
school.
puberty, it's like, ooh.
Yeah. Luckily, I wasn't bullied in high school because I'm tall.
High school got better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, insults were thrown. But anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah. After that.
I mean, it's still funny because, like, I was like, oh man, everyone's so nice now. And someone's like, yeah, people still talk shit about you behind your back. And I'm like I am incredibly sad.
That tall motherfucker. Did you see how big he is? Oh my god.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's so close to truth.
Yeah.
Oh, high school.
High school.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue on.
So yeah, there's a funeral. So yeah, our main trio reunites. Peter, MJ, and Harry. They talk and yeah, MJ won the bet because Peter showed up.
Yeah.
Of course she did.
And
How
yeah,
the fuck does she? Does it even explain that? Like, who sponsors her? She got into her grades or whatever. MJ.
I'm gonna assume I don't know, like some acting program scholarship thing.
Okay.
Probably.
All right.
Like Peter
Continue.
Peter obviously has to pay for his.
Oh yeah.
because I don't know if he got a scholarship, even though he's a fucking genius. Peter, Harry most obviously paid for his, because, rich guy. Yeah, so yeah, at the end of the episode, Peter, Peter, Harry, and MJ visit Doug's grave, and there's like still a bit of a spark for fucking Electro.
Electro.
Yeah, Electro to show back up. I was having a fucking stroke for a minute. Sorry. I almost spaced out. So yeah, that was the end of the episode. Not the last time we'll see Electro, as we'll see him again soon. Next episode, Flash Memory. So this is a Flash Thompson centric episode. So Spider-Man chases after these two motorcycle guys who just robbed something, but they forget about what they robbed because they decided, you know what, we're thrill seekers. Let's ride through like a train crossing, and then Spider-Man stops them after they do their stunt, and Peter later finds out that they weren't as smart as they are now, because like back in the day they were dumbasses, like very low IQs, like they were just like I don't know how to say this without sounding offensive, without just saying they were complete idiots. Like, I don't know how offensive that I might say, but they were not the brightest tools in the shed.
Yeah.
And this
and
this ties to Flash Thompson, who said like, hey Parker, I got a tutor, so I could be ahead of you. So I'm the smartest in this. I'm trying to make it.
One here. I'm smarter than you.
I'm smarter than you.
So I have more smarts than you. And so yeah.
I'm wicked smart.
Yeah. Flash Thompson is voiced by Devon Sawa from Casper the Friendly Ghost, Idle Hands, Final Destination, and recently the Chucky series.
Good show, by the way.
So we got another big name at the time, and doing things for horror. He's Flash Thompson, and so what does Flash do? He goes to like some scientist that he thought was a tutor. No, he's doing an experiment of heightening the intelligence of a below average.
Jock.
Yeah, on a jock, like Flash and those two biker dudes that were robbing shit. So, and Flash, his intelligence grows. Throughout the whole episode, he actually rivals Peter's intelligence. Peter's impressed by it.
And then next thing you know, he's throwing out all these words he never usually does.
Yeah,
he does fucking Shakespeare, which makes MJ wet. Oh, he knows it. Oh my god, he knows Shakespeare. Oh my god.
He even speaks French briefly. Good. And, but the side effect, he's dying.
Yeah, it's somehow destroying his internal organs and cell structure and all that shit. Science.
Something about metabolism. I guess it's just taking too much energy than his body can provide.
Yeah.
So are the biker twins who are doing more crimes and pretty much take down Spider-Man. Like the reason how Spider-Man figures out that they were related was the injection points. There was an injection bruise on the necks of the biker twins and on Flash, and Spider-Man pretty much connected the dots and wanted to check out Dr. Zellner, who's voiced by Jeffrey Combs, and
the Animator.
Yep, Reanimator. From Beyond. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And Transformers Prime. He was Ratchet in that. and a bunch of other cool horror movies that Jeffrey Combs is known for, because Jeffrey Combs is awesome. Oh, and how can I forget the Guyver?
Oh, gracious. Right.
The guy.
Because he was briefly in there as Dr. East as a joke for Dr. West and Reanimator, because the same people worked on that movie.
Yes.
So Peter finds out about the experiment and finds out about Flash dying, and the only way to cure. So Zellner finds out that the only way to cure Flash and the twins was to find someone with high intelligence and and to come up with an anti serum for the intelligence the intelligence serum thing.
Yes.
And here comes Spider-Man, and they're about to use him as the anti-serum, but since Spider-Man got electrocuted, got electrocuted because the twins had cattle prods. Zellner can't use him because of the adrenaline that will fuck up the compound. But so the twins figured, okay, here's a horse tranquilizer, and so Zellner injects it into Spider-Man, doping him up, and now Spider-Man's just as useless because he's drugged and high. Spider-Man still regains his strength because his metabolism, but he can't produce web, so performance failure. Insert dick joke here because he can't shoot web. So he beats up the twins and takes Flash. So Zellner takes Flash as hostage, but before they can leave, Spider-Man grabs a video camera, turns it on, webs it on Flash's back, and chases after them to find out where they are. But since he can't really web swing, he has to rely on Indy, who is in this episode, and Peter was talking to her earlier in the episode about the twins, and she has the news van and is helping Spider-Man and get to where they are, because the video camera is recording whatever address and whatever subway, and Peter goes in to stop Zellner and save Flash, and Spider-Man, back to being Peter Parker, creates the antidote, heals Flash, and Flash is back to being a jock douchebag.
Well, you forgot to mention, I thought it's kind of minor, that Flash was the one to say the antidote on the train that was able to luckily get back to Spider-Man. Peter.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Yeah, because Peter because the video camera that Peter webbed on Flash's back recorded the thing. So So Flash is back to being a jock douchebag, just below average intelligence, not so he's back to just saying bruh and all that.
Wow.
Yeah, so there goes cultured Flash Thompson.
And Mary Jane's like, oh, okay. I mean, it was good for 5 seconds, but okay. He's so dumb. I thought she was great. I mean, honestly, if you can get MJ with Shakespeare, I mean, there's something wrong with of course. Sit down. Sit your ass down, MJ. We got it. You like Shakespeare. Shut up.
Or it's like swooning a girl with poetry or something.
If it was poetry, then yes, fine, of course.
I mean, that doesn't always work.
You are the East, and Juliet is the sun, or however that goes.
Yeah.
Day by day, you saw the sign. Day by day, fucking that Spider-Man 2 reference right there. Anyway. Episode 10, Spider-Man Disabled, we get Silver Sable, and let me rest my voice for a little bit.
Okay, so Silver Sable is a character from the comics, and she was just in that Spider-Man game later. Since this is in the
Yeah.
past, Silver Sable comes on in that game, which she's very good. There's sexual tension between the two. She does not give Spider-Man a fucking high five for that shit, and, and yet she eventually does, and it's kind of awkward but cool. It
Yeah,
was
but
awesome.
so here, this version of Silver Sable. Okay, so Peter is at Peter's at some press conference, like in front of like I don't know, somewhere, and so
In New
yeah,
York.
we get the mayor and we get like some representative from the UK or some shit. Excuse me. And Silver Sable's there with a sniper and just staking out and about to assassinate what you assume would be the mayor. So yeah, she shoots a little dart that is actually a bomb that ricochets into like the limo, and Peter, while taking pictures and filming footage, accidentally captures Silver Sable uh, onto the footage, and his spider sense goes off and he sees the bomb and go like, oh crap, I gotta save him. Oh, by the way, Silver Sable's design is actually reused in Spider-Man: Friend or Foe, like the design of her in the show. So yeah, just a fun fact. So yeah, Spider-Man goes after the bear, tries to stop the bomb, and the bomb goes from 2 minutes to 30 seconds. Go like, what the fuck? Stops. So yeah, tells the driver to stop the limo, to save the mayor and Tremaine. The Tremaine being the dude, uh, that the mayor is has at hand. So Peter drives the limo off the bridge, and it blows up, and he swings away. So yeah, that's the beginning of the episode. So yeah, Peter goes to Indy talking about the situation, and then we see Silver Sable talk with one of her cronies about this teenager caught me with his camera. We need to find the footage, destroy it, so I can keep my anonymity. Can't speak tonight. Just keep her top secret. If anybody sees, kill him. It's one of those. Hey, if I tell you, I gotta kill you. So, she sneaks into Peter's apartment, and Peter pretty much stays in the shadows, and Silver Sable and her goons are going around the apartment trying to look for the footage, and Peter goes like, it's not there. She shoots a couple of rounds in the ceiling and go like, eh, and Peter's up there like, how dare she shoot my ceiling? I'm probably gonna have to pay for these.
Yeah.
So yeah, Peter dresses as Spider-Man and goes after Silver Sable. Finds the van, but he gets electrocuted so bad that apparently it caused battle damage already.
Yeah.
So I didn't think it would be that bad. So yeah, I'm like, okay, damage that bad the suit, man, it's gonna be very expensive for repairs on that suit. So yeah, Peter, MJ, Harry, and Indy go hang out at some place and talk about the situation. MJ and Indy are having girl talk, just actually bonding because MJ wants to know who Peter's dating, because Indy and Peter are actually dating so far. So yeah, Peter go no way before Peter goes out patrolling. They go to the house. They go to their Peter's apartment and investigate the footage that Peter captured, and Indy figures out the identity of Silver Sable, and who she is and what she works for and all that, and that she is an assassin and mercenary and all that shit. Uh, Peter goes out patrolling and fights Silver Sable, and it gets too much, and he just like escapes. And then it is revealed that Silver Sable and her men captured Harry, Mary Jane, and Indy as hostages, as
Of
collateral
course.
as collateral for Peter. So, and Peter figured out the identity of how Silver Sable is going to assassinate who he thought was the mayor, and he realizes, wait, it's not the mayor, it's Tremaine, the guy that they're hyping up, and he figured out who the like how Silver Sable's doing it. She's in disguise as one of the mayor's secretaries, and he gets a threatening phone call like, "Hey, don't call the cops, and come alone, uh, or your friends die," and all that. And Peter decides, okay, anonymous tip. Someone's going to assassinate Tremaine at the thing. So instead of Peter going to the hostages, he goes as Spider-Man. So and takes out the goons, saves everybody, goes after Silver Sable, who's taken the mayor and Tremaine hostage. Spider-Man and Sable to fight on top of the limo while it's on cruise control with the mayor just steering it, and then they crash the same place in the fucking on the same bridge, and Peter stops the van from falling, but Sable takes a dip. So
Yeah.
yeah, and we don't see Sable again. And
No.
I'm saying it
I
definitively.
assume she's still alive.
Yeah, but you're led to assume she's still alive. Spoiler alert. We don't see her again. And I'm saying and I'm saying this definitively, and you'll know why. Because okay, after that, the next morning, MJ shows up to the apartment, and while Peter is just having breakfast, so it almost like MJ was about to say something, hey, let's go, let's start dating or something like that, and she sees Indy like zipping up her skirt and realizes, oh, Peter and Indy fucked. Okay, time to leave. This is awkward.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Peter and Indy fucked, and that was the end of the episode.
Or MJ.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
always late or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yep. Very awkward. Next episode, when sparks fly, Electro returns. And pretty much Electro goes full on poltergeist. And he's pretty much an incel in this one.
She was the only one nice to me. The only one, and I want her for myself.
Yeah.
Where he's
Pretty much.
where he's haunting Sally, who's just like because she felt bad for what happened to Max, and all that, and Max is creeping her the fuck out.
No one believes me. It's Max. But he's dead, right? No! Oh my god! Why is everyone gaslighting me?
And then Max, like, okay, so Max, he's just like energy, and pretty much he almost kills a bunch of punks who were like inside this warehouse. That he turns on this like massive fan that almost sucked them into, turn them into mincemeat, and before Spider-Man stops it, and yeah, and the next victim happens to be one of the college professors that gets electrocuted. And it's almost led to believe that in this episode, okay, if you watch it in chronological order, possible that the college professor's dead, but since this aired out of order, probably survived.
Yeah.
Yeah, most likely survived. Yeah, and Sally's getting even more freaked out, and she gets kidnapped by Electro. And so Spider-Man, MJ, and Harry have to figure out how to stop Electro, and Harry has figure out how to he has an energy containment unit. So yeah, Harry has to set aside his hatred for Spider-Man to help him throughout this episode, and in order to save Sally from Electro. So yeah, so Electro, what he's gonna do? He wants to turn Sally into another Electro, just like him.
It gets lonely in the electrical world.
Yeah,
My dream of electric sheep.
dreaming of electric sheep. That's Blade Runner. So yeah, and then Peter shows up with the, uh, as Spider-Man with the electrical containment unit, and he's having a hard time because trying to get Electro to get sucked up into it because he's threatening the others, and the containment unit is fused to the ground, and Peter tries to like grab the cable, but it's stuck. You're like, ah, come on! It can't even reach any further. Okay, fine. Time to feel some pain. Webs up Electro and uses himself as a conduit for to put Electro inside the containment unit. He grabs the containment unit, rips it off the ground, throws it in the water. Boom. Water's electrocuted. Bunch of fish are dead, and everybody's safe. No more Electro. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Bye, Max. Poor Sally. Having to get
She's dead, right?
No. She's not dead. She's alive. She's just traumatized with the shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought that blast was like far too much for her body to take, and she just died or something.
No, she's alive. She's alright.
Just traumatized.
Yeah. Oh, and Harry is dating an exchange student.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's from Europe. So yeah, of course he is. He's trying to put on the charm on her. So yeah.
It's just the accent. That's all.
Hmm?
It's the accent. That's all.
Yeah. So yeah, that was When Sparks Fly. That was a brief overview on that episode, but that was another good one. And here's where the show, here's the last part of the show, the season finale two-parter, where shit hits the fan. Mind Games, parts 1 and 2. And, well, here we go. So, the episode starts where we get a prison transfer. The prisoners, 2 twins with that are filled up with drugs, and they have powers that could fuck with people's minds. They have telepathic abilities, one stare, and if they think and look at everybody, they could pretty much force them into being either zombies or pretty much just make them piss their pants, and that's scary. And so during the ride, here comes some some guy and crashes the truck, and so the guards went to one of the guards goes up to the thing to stop him, but it's too late. He's under the control of the Gaines twins, who are the ones with the psychic abilities, and force the guard to shoot the driver. The twins go to the van of their the guy who helped them escape, and to ride off, and told the guard to ride around the street and shoot everything. Which the guy has a shotgun with a double barrel. How is he reloading? So yeah, Peter stops the guard's rampage, and the guard snaps out of it and calls back up. We got an emergency here. Spider-Man goes to stop the Gaines twins, and the Gaines twins decide to fuck with Peter's head. And so yeah, they're in his mind, and Peter fights it off, and stops both of them, and threatens the thug that freed him by saying, "Want some of this?" Threatening him, who pretty much makes him stop the truck, which was hilarious. So yeah, the Gaines twins are now off to jail, and that was over too quick. Next scene. Spider-Man is up on a building with MJ. and they're having a heart to heart, and then Peter, and then Spider-Man hears like a cry for help or something like that, and I need to go now, but hey, and hey, you want to stay up here? And MJ's like, no, I prefer ground floor, and Peter's like, okay, pushes her off and goes to save her, and knowing Megamind, that's not a smart idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Peter did something very fucking irresponsible there. And MJ doesn't say anything about it, and because for some reason she thinks it's a cool. It's not. It's scary. Spider-Man just pushed her off a building. Why is she questioning about it? We'll know soon. What the fuck was the next moment? What was the next moment? Peter hangs out with like Harry and Indy. They're like having chips and salsa and all that. They hear the news of like Pterodax returns. Well, Pterodax returns. Sable's back, and Kraven the Hunter has appeared. So yeah, they all split up. Peter, dressed as Spider-Man, stops Pterodax, who are who are holding hostages at like at an under construction ESU science center, and Peter is brutal to Pterodax. Why he's not holding back. One of the guys who's flying around patrolling it, like pretty much. Peter turns off the jetpack on him, which that's a little merciful. And then Peter crushes one of the dudes. and then he goes after the leader, James Marsters, and pretty much fucks around with him. But the leader shoots one of the neon signs, and it hits Harry on the left arm.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So yeah, Peter goes after. So yeah, Spider-Man goes after the leader and pretty much beats the shit out of him. Has him like ricochet around and like with the web around like one of the towers, and then Spider-Man knocks him out. Dos Svidania. That's his last words to the leader, and pretty much he swings away. And and Harry's injured, and Peter goes to his apartment building, and he sees MJ and Indy. Talking about, hey, there's no 2-for-1 special and all that, because he can't have. So even though he's dating Indy, he can't have MJ to either. So no threesome for him. And then the next scene, he's talking to fucking Jameson, and Jameson is giving a very generous payday, and Peter's like weirded out, like that makes no sense. You're very cheap with me. I'll take my usual rate. So yeah, you can see like what the hell's going on, because throughout the episode we see flashes of Spider-Man having like a, what the fuck is wrong with, we see flashes of him having a headache and all that. What is going on? We don't know what's happening unless people are smart enough to figure it out. So so yeah, next moment, Peter's just walking, walking out of the building, and here's Silver Sable and Kraven the Hunter just staking out for him. Peter pretty much catches wind of this and dresses up as Spider-Man to fight off both Sable and Kraven, and Spider-Man pretty much disables Sable. Get it? Haha. But Kraven escapes and Sable gets arrested again. So yeah, and so Spider-Man swings off and meets up with MJ, and they have a heart to heart about it. And hey, about that Peter dude, and she talks about like, yeah, Pete, sweet and innocent. Spider-Man, yeah, but I'm guilty. Hey, you know what? Let's go to this alley. I need to tell you something. Spider-Man takes off his mask. Hey, I'm Peter Parker, and MJ's like, wow, that's crazy. like she's amazed by this, not freaking out that you lied to me and all that, or something like that, or like I need time to think. None of that. She's just like instantly amazed that Peter's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, she instantly processes like, oh no, this is badass. So and then Craven shows up, and then like pretty much shoots a bunch of darts from like a crossbow that are laced with like a deadly venom of like a very poisonous spider. I forgot the exact spider that eats. And Craven's voiced by Michael Dorn. I forgot that. So Worf is Craven.
Yes.
So and then after a bit of fighting, well, there wasn't a whole lot of fighting. It's just Spider-Man dodging a bunch of darts. Craven grabs MJ and pokes her with a dart full of the poison, and MJ dies.
Yes.
And Peter is pissed. So we go to MJ's grave, and here's Peter, and he's just angry, and we see Harry back with a cast on his right arm.
Mm-hmm.
And Peter and Harry goes insane, like, now you know why I hate Spider-Man so much. And then Peter walks off, and he sees a spider, and he crushes like a piece of like stone of like the stone like fence, and he just like throws it. And we get a voice line by Stan Lee. And holy shit, like Stan Lee doing a very sinister role. When I first heard that, that was like a surprise to me when I was a kid, because like Stan Lee, you always know him as like the voice,
Hey,
like the
leader.
yeah, like the voice, like the charismatic voice of positivity and good and all that, like heroism and like Excelsior, and he's voicing someone that would basically be Palpatine.
Yes, good. Give in to your anger.
Telling Peter to give in to his anger and revenge. And then that is like, holy shit. Like, why hasn't Stan Lee did any like villain voices? Because that was very like jarring in a good way for me.
Yeah.
Like, it was shocking to me as a kid.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, and then we find out that the whole scenario, like when Spider-Man decides, you know what, I'm gonna kill Craven now, because Stan Lee told him. Well, okay, his name's not Stan Lee. His name was like I forgot the character's name. It was Frank Ellison. Yeah, it was Frank Ellison, I think. And so Peter finally here's the Gaines twin. Like Peter's now decided to kill Craven. And then we see Spider-Man, lying down in like the van, and here's the Gaines twins. Okay, finally, he's been reprogrammed. He's ready. Spider-Man, go kill Craven, and then Spider-Man just swings off aggressively, and we see that MJ's still alive. So all that was in Peter's head, because the Gaines twins fucked with his brain, and then we get to be continued. And then we get to the actual episode. And Peter, like as Spider-Man, fights off Craven. And he's not holding back. And when you fight Spider-Man and he's not making jokes and he's quiet, run. Run. Because he is on the warpath. Like, yeah, he's just beating the shit out of Craven and just having very, very aggressive attacks. So he's about to strangle Craven, but he realizes some inconsistencies of talk with Craven referencing yeah, you were more ruthless than the last time we talked. And Spider-Man's like, yeah, 6 hours ago, and Craven's like, what the fuck are you talking about? So yeah, and so as soon as Peter's
BRB.
Peter webs up Craven's neck and is about into a noose and is about to finish off Craven, going, "This is for you, MJ." And then he looks outside and sees the ESU science center. He goes like, "Wait, that wasn't completed yesterday. What the fuck?" And he realizes Harry's arm got crushed with the left arm, and in the cast it was the right arm. And he goes like, "What the fuck is happening?" So he talked to Craven about like, "Hey, what's going on? When was the last time we fought? Ages ago, like
Yeah.
it was like months ago." Like, what? Talks to a cop like, "Hey, what happened to Sable and Pterodax and all the others? Pterodax are still in jail after the ESU, after the Empire News. Sable, pretty much is fish food, and pretty much Peter realizes like, I got fucked with, and he goes back to the apartment to check on Harry, and here's Harry about to make out with the foreign exchange student, and he's got no cast in his arm. Now Peter has like the full story he was fucked with, and now to figure out, okay, where are the Gaines twins? Where are they hiding? And what the hell's going on? So he goes to Indy, and I'm talking way too much, and everybody's quiet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So good.
I'm going way too fast. Sorry.
It's all good.
Nah. So,
This all happened kind of fast in the episode.
Huh?
This all happened kind of fast in the episode.
Yeah, episodes go by pretty quick. So,
Yeah, I mean,
Peter goes to Indy talking about like, let's just say I sleepwalked and I can't remember what place I was photographing, and couldn't remember where. Like, he figures out the key, and figures out the keywords of, okay, it was next to a warehouse. It was next to a warehouse, next to a church. Oh, okay, it's a warehouse next to a church, and bunch of other stuff, and they find out where Frank Elston is. Stan Lee. So yeah, Peter finds him and gets the location, and then Peter gets the call from the Gaines twins like, "Hey, you failed to kill Craven," and also they're holding MJ hostage the whole time, and the Gaines twins know Spider-Man's Peter, and also like Peter ran off on Indy, and Indy wants to beat Peter, or go after Peter to like, okay, what the fuck is going on? What kind of scoop are you after? And then and Indy is following Spider-Man to his destination because she knows that Peter Parker is always chasing after Spider-Man because the typical dynamic with Peter.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Spider-Man pretty much stalls the twins and finds their location and attacks them and saves MJ. The the twins, like, they split up like to different exits, and MJ's freed. She runs off, and Peter goes after the twins, and the sister shoots at him, and she does the mind trick on him, and Peter goes like, "No, I'm stronger than this. You can't fuck with me," and he pushes off the sister. And then he looks behind to see the brother and see the sister, step to the side, because her brother was hiding her, and they were like, "Hey, hero, why don't you actually look who you just threw off?" He threw Indy off. He threw Indy off the building.
Yeah.
So
Horrible.
Indy got Gwen Stacy'd.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, and Peter's like, "No, what the fuck?" And it was fucking nuts. So next scene, Indy is in a coma, and they have no idea if she'll recover or not, or if like she's, I don't know, possibly gonna be an invalid or something like that. And so everybody's just like, yeah, fuck Spider-Man. And Empire One, the competitor to the Daily Bugle, have J. Jonah Jameson, and they're collaborating and go like, yeah, fuck Spider-Man. He's a menace to the city. He's a menace to the youth. He's, a bunch of other things. He's not a hero. And yeah, and everybody shares the same sentiment. And Peter goes like, okay, yeah, fuck being Spider-Man, but, w- but
Yeah.
but I have to be in for one last time. He grabs one of the sedatives that was injected into to Indy, and he goes after the twins. And the twins are celebrating in a warehouse and happy to like ruin Spider-Man's reputation. And then
Oh
here,
yeah, there was a subplot where Craven had something to do with killing their parents.
oh yeah,
And
oh
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah,
they're
like
like basically pretending to be righteous the whole time, but now that yeah, but at this point they dropped the facade and they're like, ah, we've like messed up Spider-Man to the point where he can't fight us anymore, which means that there's no one to stop us from taking over New York as criminals.
Yeah, pretty
yeah,
much.
yeah. I forgot about the Craven subplot with them. Like I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, that's why they wanted Craven dead.
Yeah, because they killed their parents because he experimented on them, and that's how the twins got their powers. And
Or you at least capture their parents and live with them.
yeah, so yeah, and so yeah, Spider-Man webs up the sister from the outside, and because he's in the inside, and he stopped the brother, injected the sedative, and yeah, brother's defeated. But here comes the sister in a fucking semi truck with like propane, because they're inside a propane warehouse. So Spider-Man's fighting the sister, and the sister's fucking with his mind, going like, and like have him like taking the form of Indy, like, please Spider-Man, have you done enough? And and Spider-Man loses the sedative, and the sister accidentally crashes into propane tanks, and the whole warehouse blows up, killing the twins and wrecking the costume, and Peter swings off.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and then the next time we see Peter, he's in his room, pretty much packing up his costume into a suitcase, and he hears MJ come in. And he hides the suit real quick, and they talk about like their disappointment with Spider-Man, and and their relationships are weird now. We're like kind of strained because like Indy's in the hospital dying and all that, and then
Yeah.
and then MJ leaves. Peter grabs the suitcase with the Spider-Man suit and puts a bunch of bricks into it, and he goes to the Hudson River and throws the suit away. And yeah, Spider-Man no more.
Yeah. He quit.
End of the series because season 2 was never produced. Because the show got
canceled.
because the show got canceled because of course. So
Yeah, sadly. That's mainframe. Sadly.
yeah, and another tradition and another thing with Mainframe, their shit always got canceled.
Yeah.
And that was MTV Spider-Man.
I am honestly amazed that you once again went through all the episodes. Again.
Well, it's short.
Eh.
I mean, if this was a little bit longer, we probably have to breeze or just,
We're doing multi-parter.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on that ending, Chris?
It's a fucked up ending, and
Mhm.
that is just yeah. A hero quits because he can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, what about Mindy? She's in a coma.
Yeah.
They're probably gonna pull the plug.
Dark.
They're probably gonna pull the plug on her.
Oh my god, why are you so mean, you bastard? Fuck you.
I mean, it's dark. It's hopeless in a way. It's an ending for sure.
Yeah, since they pulled the plug on the show, I'm just gonna assume they pulled the plug on Indy.
Everyone just goes into a bad timeline to never find happiness ever again.
So this is the bad timeline of the Spider-Man movies.
Yes.
Because had they done a second season, Spider-Man would not quit. So yeah, this is so everybody calls this a cliffhanger. I don't, because
No, it's an ending.
it feels like an ending. I mean, it's open-ended, but it's an ending. Spider-Man quits.
Let the sky fall as it crumbles. We will stand tall.
Fucking hell.
Good.
So yeah, Peter, he's like, fuck this, fuck responsibility. Like, I'm responsible enough. I'm just gonna be a college student. Fuck being Spider-Man. So yeah.
You know, if Adele really was out by then, that song would be playing at that end of that song, end of that show.
This is Skyfall.
Yes.
I've not
Like that is the 2007 thing. Oh my god.
the Linkin Park meme. With
at the end of every movie.
hey, what if this movie came out in 07 and it has like What I've Done playing?
Yeah. Exactly.
And it goes to black.
Skyfall.
It goes to credits.
Goes to credits as he's walking by, and it says, "What I've done."
I face myself, wish who can I become?
I mean, it would fit, I guess, in a way.
Damn it, Michael Bay. Know how your ass does these shit.
Michael Bay.
God damn it.
One of the good parts of Transformers, the Linkin Park songs.
Yeah. Those are always good.
Yeah, but it's been minutes since I've seen the Transformers movie, and I was not the most impressed when I first heard of it.
Well, first
saw
one,
it.
probably the only good one.
Yeah,
The rest are
garbage.
garbage.
The first live action one's good. The rest are terrible. Third one is watchable, at least.
Yeah,
But
it's
okay.
watchable. It's Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, okay.
He makes it
yeah.
watchable.
The first and third are watchable. The rest are awful. Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Bumblebee's the best one.
Yeah, not active with that.
Oh, Hawkeye. Oh, right. Hawkeye.
Yeah, with Haley Steinfeld as the main human.
Yeah.
And John Cena as like one of the military men.
You can't see me.
Exactly. He makes it even better.
And John Cena was actually pretty good in that movie. He even makes a joke about like, why are we trusting these Decepticons? They're called Decepticons. Does anybody see the picture here?
Decepticons. Come on, people. Let's use our brains here.
I thought that joke was pretty funny.
I mean,
only he could say that. Only John Cena could say that and get away with it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, trying to trust Cobra. Like, really?
Yeah.
Do you want to trust guy, man?
Yeah, John
with a high pitched voice.
Yeah, John Cena, give him a bit of comedy in his roles. He is awesome. He's a great actor. Like, if you give him a little bit of a comedic time, give him a little bit of a comedic material in his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Spider-Man's done. So the MTV show it had potential. Honestly, it really has potential. If it only could have survived the slump of being on fucking Fridays, and if they tried to promote it a little bit more than they did.
I mean, it still did well. They always they said we canceled it because it was low ratings. The ratings weren't that low. They actually did pretty well.
I think the ones keeping that alive were just nerds and geeks who liked that show, who didn't have dates on Friday nights. Sadly.
Yeah. Apparently, one of the plans
one of the
plans for season 2 they were actually planning to have Mysterio in season 2.
Oh God, that gaslighting asshole, bullhead.
That's right.
And I'm just
Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
now I'm just imagining him just being like some fucking magician that is just like doing all these crazy tricks.
Yeah.
All these illusions.
Oh, and wouldn't it be sick if he was voiced by Bruce Campbell?
Oh God.
Oh,
I mean, it would be nice. I guess it would be a nice fit, more or less.
Because like in Spider-Man 4, in Spider-Man 4, their original plans for Spider-Man 4, they were gonna do like a montage opening where Peter was fighting a bunch of villains and he arrests Mysterio and unmasked him. It was Bruce Campbell.
oh.
Bruce Campbell would have been fucking Mysterio. Wow.
Yeah, it was like there's storyboards of it, and the Mysterio's face was like modeled after Bruce Campbell.
Spider-Man, I've always wanted to get rid of you for decades.
I've always wanted to Mysterio rise you, Spider-Man.
Mysterio. I've had a bowl of Mysterios for breakfast this morning.
Nice.
I stole that line from the Spider-Man 2 game.
I bet you're thinking, why didn't I take that giant act to Vegas?
Exactly.
I gotta say, you look just like me, except you're more like back alley than friendly neighborhood. Oh, for decades I wanted to shut that mouth of yours, and now that time is finally upon me. That scene where he's like dressed up, where he's like taking the form of Spider-Man and transforms to a giant.
Giant Mysterio, where you have to hit the stupid 6 knobs and then fucking whole head of his.
Yeah, you have to shoot the nipples and then his in the dome head.
Oh.
He doesn't mean. I mean, it was nipples, but there are nodes to it and everything.
I know. I just like to call them nipples.
Democrats, stop being juvenile.
Nipple nose.
Oh, and if you pay attention when they're in the prison, you can actually see a bikini model with the Mysterio's dome head on her. It was hilarious.
Oh,
Yeah.
his symbol.
Yeah. And
The
that,
dome.
and that
Fishbowl.
So, yeah. Before we have like an off-topic tangent, any final thoughts for MTV Spider-Man? Yay, nay, or
Yay for it does. It really could have just. It was good, honestly, and I wish it did get a second season. Though, sadly, that's not how it is, and now has just become something of history, of lost media.
I mean, it's technically not lost media.
I'm calling it lost media because it sounds more mysterious.
Gravitas.
Yes, exactly. I went to Juilliard.
The fucking meme of Alucard and Richter Belmont, where Richter's a terrible actor.
Oh god.
Castlevania
memes. What is a man? A miserable pile of secrets.
But enough talk. Have at thee.
Have at thee. Such a good game. Some of the lines are corny as fuck, though.
Yeah, just get Blade onto that to have him fight Dracula.
Yeah, Dracula.
Yeah.
Oh, Dracula.
Yeah.
Always come back 100 years.
Yeah.
More or less.
Pistol
Or 99 years or whatever the lore is.
Yeah. So my closing thoughts. I like the show. I remember watching it when it aired with my family, watching Osbournes, and yeah.
All the Osbournes bring families together.
Yep. Sharon. Sharon. God. Yeah. So yeah, this does hold like a special place with me with like that, and with a bunch of other Spider-Man cartoons like the '90s show and Spectacular. It's just and the Amazing Friends. Could never forget that.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the animation style, like that it was being quote unquote mature. I say quote unquote because it's like not held back with a bunch of stuff that a lot of Marvel cartoons were concerned with, and like with standards and practices, and so Spider-Man MTV. So should
Enjoyed
I?
it, people.
So
Yeah, it was good.
So should I just end the episode now?
It's up to you, but we've been doing this for like what, 3 hours?
2.5 actually.
Okay, then.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it was a
yeah,
good show.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Before we started, I was showing off one of the Kamen Rider movies. So, yeah. So yeah,
That's true.
yeah. So yeah. So thank you everybody who decided to stop what they're doing, or like decided to have this in the background, or like while they're working, studying, or doing whatever. So yeah. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Ben, for indulging me talking about a show.
Mm-hmm.
It
So,
was a pleasure.
yeah. So, Mike, what do we do next? Next time we do another CJM.
Next time, we're covering the very first mainframe show, Reboot. Another,
Oh, boy.
the first in the series of cancellations mainframe will experience. And yes, Reboot has a interesting and weird history of cancellations,
Mm.
coming back and being canceled. And yes, a shitty reboot. Yes, it exists. I even though it still traumatizes
oh,
me.
we're gonna watch. Are we gonna watch the reboot of Reboot?
No, we're not gonna do
Oh,
that.
thank fuck.
No, we're sticking to the original. But I will talk about
I
the reboot of Reboot
all right. I guess.
in the episode.
I guess the next. I guess our reboot episode will be like the longest show we've done so far. Because
Yes.
how many? Because it ran for like 4 seasons.
Yeah, it's 47 episodes in total.
47 episodes. Holy wait, that's more than Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
Well, we got more So yeah, we got a record breaker of how many episodes that we covered of a show. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true.
so yeah, we go from Kamen Rider to Baccano to XL World to Spider-Man now reboot. So yeah, uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, once again, thank you for taking the time to listen to us talk about obscure or just fun shows to talk about, and so yeah. Until next time, stay gold, everybody, and we'll see you. I think I made that redundant. Never mind. So, yeah. Stay gold, everybody, and have a good day or night wherever you are, whatever time. So, yeah. Same.
Later.
Yep. See ya. Bye.